Oh, hi. It's me, Frank Reed. Welcome to the second part of the video about what actually happened. The part that is getting copy striked to the fucking ground. I tried to work around it a little bit. I don't know if it's gonna do anything, but enjoy watching. So the next story we're gonna talk about is my sister's boyfriend wears her bra, and I swear I'm not picking the craziest titles. There is shit like my mom sold me for $1,000 there. Or a video called my boyfriend's family hate me because I'm not pregnant.
Hey Dad, I got a new girlfriend.
Ooh, that's nice. Is she pregnant?
Dad, it doesn't work that way.
Well, what are you waiting for? Get her pregnant.
Dad, what is wrong?
Now. But I digress. Let's go back to the video.
Hey, my name is Ellie. I am 12 years old, and I will tell you a story that you will surely remember. Not so long ago, I found out that my older sister's boyfriend has delved into the underwear of almost all the women in my family. You're probably saying, what?
Not really. I would actually say that's
Pretty fucking hot.
On one of those days, Pierce arrived an hour and a half earlier than my sister. I was too busy trying to make a video for TikTok. So I let Pierce in without giving it any thought. Like, if he was going to steal something, that was the best time. It occurred to my mind later, when I realized that Pierce had been sitting in Caroline's bedroom for more than an hour, so I pulled the door handle. But the door was locked! I heard an alarmed, "Wait a minute!" and realized that it was the perfect moment to catch this thief. I opened the door holding my smartphone with the camera switched on to capture evidence, and I saw...
Holy shit, you should have recorded that for TikTok. That's content. Dude, the more I think about that idea, the more awesome it gets. Like, I feel like police officers should have their own TikTok accounts. Like, imagine that. NIPD officer George Kowalski TikTok. And imagine this, they're catching some thief and the guy goes, "On your knees, scum, do you have something to say to me and my 3 million followers?" Or even better, handcuff those thieves and make them dance for your TikTok video. That's content.
I'm sorry.
The rest of the story is boring. It's as boring as a bag of onions. I honestly just wanted to make that joke about TikTok and talk about these fucking weird people that keep bitching that kids do TikTok these days. And I know I just made fun of TikTok, right? But honestly, it's like the least harmful thing there is. Like, come on, you know what's more harmful? Skateboarding. Cause you can get corona. Jokes aside though, the situation is serious, and remember that your actions affect the others. So even if you are some young and healthy chap that loves to party, you're putting other more vulnerable people at risk. So instead of going to that party, stay home. That marks the end of the serious part of the video. Let's go back to the drama. Now if you were disappointed by the last story, then I have something extra for you. Something so fucking fantastic that you will lose your pants. Because in the story I'm gonna talk about, every single character has some sort of strong mental disability. So I proudly present you the dumbest story we've seen yet. And it's called "My College Professor Was So Hot I Could Not Resist."
Hi everyone, my name is Michael and I'm 20 years old.
Since high school, I've been very popular among my peers. I'm not bragging, but just so you know how popular, I once dated 3 girls at the same time. 2 of them even knew about the others, but still wanted to date me. In college, everything was the same. Not with these girls, but I got a lot of female attention in general. Again, I'm not bragging,
He totally is bragging though, at least own it, you fucking pussy.
But then, right when I had almost given in to my boredom, she came along. A new AP calculus teacher. I was very interested in Miss Clark, or should I say Eloise, right away. I was fascinated by her low voice. She was a 32-year-old woman with a lot of life experience.
So I know what you're thinking, right? Frank, this just looks like some weird flexer with a low voice fetish. Nothing special, right? But this is exactly where the clown roller coaster begins. And we get to ride this roller coaster for 10 minutes and 45 seconds.
Now, I don't like to wait long before making the first move, so a couple of days later I brought her flowers. Well, I tried to bring them. After she was done with work, I walked with her all the way to her house, but she wouldn't accept them. Then, of course, I got upset, but I at least found out where she lived.
Wait, what does he mean at least I found out where she lives?
Over the next week, every single morning, I would leave little bouquets of flowers on her porch, and after that, I would make sure our paths crossed throughout the day and try to get her to talk to me.
Oh, 'cause he's a fucking stalker. Cool. Very cool.
I brought her flowers, mostly at night, and on one of those nights, something incredible happened.
Holy shit, can we stop here for a moment and pretend that this is reality, and can we talk about what the fuck is happening right now? Okay, so let's start from the beginning. You're an attractive teacher in your 30s, you have this little fucking shit following you home, right? He's trying to give you flowers, but he don't want it. He's weird. But whatever, you got home, he's gonna fuck off, right? And for the next week, in front of your house you find flowers, and you know it's that creepy dude that brings them. And on top of that, when you're in college, you see him everywhere, everywhere. He follows you everywhere you go. And at this point, any normal person would call the police, right? But as we learn later, Eloise is not a normal person. She's just as fucking stupid as Michael. Because the story is a giant fucking XD. XD. But let's go back, because shit gets weirder and weirder. Now he brings those flowers at night for some fucking reason.
As soon as I put another bouquet on the porch, Eloise opened the door. And after a short pause, she invited me in with a finger gesture. I was both surprised and worried because she had barely initiated anything before. Why was she suddenly so flirty? I noticed an almost empty bottle of wine in her room. Judging by her behavior, she had probably just finished drinking it. Eloise had nothing but a robe on. How do I know this? Well, as soon as I tried to talk to her, she threw off her robe and started kissing me. I barely had time to get myself together.
When she came to her senses, we finally talked. It turned out that this performance was because of her frustration with men. According to her, all of her boyfriends wanted only one thing from her.
But here we learn that Eloise is also brain damaged because...
Oh, I'm so frustrated when men, they only want one thing. So I'm gonna have sex with that guy.
Fucking good idea, dude.
To earn some money, I found a job at my dad's construction firm and started combining work with college.
I know this part might seem unimportant, but it's really essential that he got the job at his father's company, okay? Just remember that.
Unfortunately, it never got any further than passionate kissing, but you know what? After a few months of these meetings, I realized that Eloise wasn't just a fling. I wanted to be with her for real. Unfortunately, Eloise herself still didn't take me very seriously. It was as if she was waiting for someone else. And I didn't know what I needed to do to finally prove to her the seriousness of my intentions and finally start dating her openly. But then it dawned on me. Why date if I can marry her right away?
Okay, so after a couple of months of dating her, he realizes that she doesn't take it seriously. So he's like, fuck it, I'm marrying her. YOLO. XD.
So I went to her right in middle of her class. With this gesture, I wanted to show her that the college administration was nothing compared to my love for her. I was wearing a suit, holding flowers, and a ring. So once she and everyone present noticed me, I started my speech. When I got down on my knee in front of her, she got scared and just walked away from me. I went to her and knelt down again, but she ran away from me again. I was in shock, so I just repeated this procedure a few more times, but she still ran away from me.
So just imagine that. You're being a teacher and you're having a lecture in front of hundreds of students, and there he comes and he kneels on one of his knees, and in one hand he's holding the engagement ring, and in the other your job, and the job goes and he goes,
Oh, you didn't need that job anyway. You've got me.
oh come on, I told you, the story is like clouds on the roller coaster. And we're just 6 minutes in.
Eloise and I went elsewhere to finally discuss everything properly. She was understandably mad at me, but she still said yes to my proposal. I couldn't believe my luck at that moment. We kissed very passionately.
And she said yes. I told you, she's brain damaged, like everyone in the story.
She later clarified that we would only get married once I finished college, and until then, our relationship will stay the same. That wasn't okay with me. It was way too long before I was going to graduate. I thought that if we postponed our marriage and kept meeting secretly at her place, well, there was a chance that it wouldn't happen at all. So, once again, I decided to take action. I thought about it for a couple of days, but I still gave up college without telling anyone.
The more I think about it, the more of a genius idea this is. Just imagine this.
I can't marry a student. I will only marry you when you graduate.
Well, I left the college. I'm not a student anymore.
Checkmate, bitch.
She also said that no matter how much she loved me, she didn't want to live with a future lowlife.
There was no college anymore, but I pretended to go there for my parents, and instead I really went to work. They didn't know anything until I finally got tired of hiding the truth. I was tired of leaving the house in the morning, so I told them about my relationship with Eloise and how I dropped out of college for her. It was predictable that they'd be angry, but I still hoped that they would understand. But they started yelling and demanding that I go back to college. And I couldn't do that because I really wanted to make up with Eloise and start a family with her. This wasn't a good enough excuse for my parents, and they gave me an ultimatum. Either college, a roof over my head and a job at Dad's firm, or nothing and Eloise. Do I even need to say which one I chose? I gathered my things and went to my loved one. Many people live on their own when they're younger than me, so the fact that I was kicked out at 20 years old wasn't that scary. My greatest fear was that Eloise wouldn't accept me. But her love for me wouldn't let that happen.
So she said that she doesn't want to live with a lowlife. And a couple weeks later, he's like, yo, what's up? I'm moving and my parents threw me out of my house. And she's like, fantastic.
My dad fired me, so I had to work as a cashier at a small diner.
Okay, so here's that part, right? She literally just said that his dad fired him, right? So that makes his dad his boss, right? And he just said that for a couple weeks. He pretended he went to college while actually going to work in his father's company. Is his father fucking brain damaged?
After a while, we got married. Nothing fancy, just a visit to a justice of the peace, but we were still happy. Unfortunately, it didn't last for very long. A couple of months after we got married, she went from being, and I kinda hate saying it this way, but the hotter, older woman to just an old woman. The magic of our forbidden relationship was gone. Long story short, I fell out of love with her as quickly as I fell in love with her. As you can imagine, after a while, Eloise and I got divorced. I returned to live with my parents, and I'm currently preparing to go back to college.
And with that idiotic ending, let's end this video. Thank you very much for watching. I was Frank Reed, you're some random ass viewer. Here's my social media, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.